Hi there, thanks for being with me. Feng Shui 101. We're going to get right into it. So, literally, Feng Shui, as it's called in America, or Feng Shui, if I'm doing the best pronunciation I can on that, literally means wind and water. Wind being the breath of life, water being the blood that flows through us. Wind being the exterior environment, what's happening around the home, the office, the land, the space we're looking at. And water, the flow of energy that comes towards us, against us, away from us, too much, right? Or too little. Feng Shui is all about balance. That's its main principle. And it's based on the Taoist principles or philosophy. It's not really a religion as much as a way of life. And we all know that for the good or the ill, your environment affects you. And it affects you on the internal and the external, which is why we are always in Feng Shui, the acupuncture of space, making those energetic needle point corrections in our home, in our office, inland, when we're building a structure. So balance, heaven and earth, and then where does humans fit in, right? So it's really about the balance of these three main principles. And as you know, the 5 elements are in everything about Feng Shui. So Feng Shui is about alignment and balance at its core essence. In ancient times, it was practiced inwardly and outwardly. And the ancients believed that as you buried your royal family member, it would determine the future of offspring, the future of your dynasty. So the burial plots became very important in Feng Shui, and this is thousands of years ago. I want to say at least 3,000 years ago, these principles began in the royal dynasties. And very quickly, we collectively all discovered how important it is to be conscious with intention about what you're placing in your space, where you're picking your space, how it relates to you. So many things interact. Me as the Feng Shui master helps you pick and choose based on the astrology, your personalized information that we integrate into space as the master. The ancient Chinese observed that some surroundings are better, luckier, or more auspicious than others. Feng Shui is really about having that mountain energy. You see me with my back standing here, that mountain energy behind us. This was thought that if you had mountain energy behind you, your enemies couldn't sneak up and surprise you. So energetically, this is where the heart of having that mountain energy behind you. Feng Shui really loves a mountain energy, if we're looking at placement, right? With a river running in front of it. Here's that water, that life force coming towards you. And they would build somewhere like this, where you're getting the principles of both. You've got the mountain in behind you towards your back. You can see everything that's coming in front of you. The water is flowing, bringing you items. Back then, everything was traveled through waterways and canals. So the more that you were close to the water, the quicker you could get supplies, the quicker you could get energy, the quicker you could make money. But it was all about the balance of these three things, right? And then the environment in general. What's happening? Is it dilapidated? What's the energy like? Is this a good Shang-Chi place to rest my home for the future offspring? So these would be belief systems and patterns on how they started to arrange space. Feng Shui is the geomancy of the planet. It's the sacred layout for what you say you want. So your inner reflects your outer, and your outer reflects your inner. And you're always having this aligned. Now, when you do the placement of things for Feng Shui, does it change? Yes, it does. Energy's always changing. It never dies. It's always transforming. So shall we be in tune with that energy. What's happening here? Always be checking in, right? So we're now in the water season, a wonderful time to check in. What's happening in the north connected to water, right? So we're always recalibrating the energy. It never dies, but we always want to keep the growth patterns going, right? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So you can see why Feng Shui and keeping that positive energy aligned and balanced is really at the heart of all of it. Hold on, wrong book. I've got some notes here. So they found through observation that the house sited halfway up the hill on the north side of the river, facing, like we kind of talked about here, it was easier to survive, right? You could grow your vegetables, you could grow your rice, the fruit-bearing trees, the sun, the lush grass. The house stayed relatively warm in the winter if you aligned your back to the north, right? So it would depend. If you lived in the northern of China, you wanted, particularly if you could control it, your door on the south, right? You wanted more of that warm energy. If you were in the south of China, you wanted your door more to the north. You wanted those cool breezes. It was a little warm. So really, depending on the regions you were at, different techniques were given and approved for the way that you would lay out the space. So the history of Feng Shui, spinning back around to the burial sites, really started with the burial sites of the royal family, and they usually nestled them into certain mountains, and they would love to see energetically, was there a dragon in that mountain, right? Was this the head or the tail of the energy? So you really started to get the layout of the lands so that you could support your family, support the royal dynasties. Eventually, the royal dynasties started to realize how powerful the arrangement of space was. And little by little, the royal families started to arrange the cities, the towns. Then people started to pick up more on this, and they were like, hey, I want some of that. I'm going to do this in my home. And little by little, this was the culture throughout all of China. It had spread because everyone loved the good juju. Who doesn't? Feng Shui really affects you for the good or the ill, depending on how you determine your space. So I hope that helped a little bit introduce you to the history of Feng Shui. And stay with me, we're going to be learning more. Thanks for being here.